Fight to live. Hi everyone, we're talking about Arrow's season 3 finale today, titled My Name is Oliver Queen. Let's start with some quick thoughts. I love that the Flash made a quick guest appearance in the episode, and also we learned that if you ever need to defeat the League of Assassins, you can always just call Barry. Tatsu went back into isolation, so I'm guessing this is probably the last time we'll see her because her flashback story is also done. It's a little bit unfortunate because I think she could have been a really good sidekick to have on the team. I also wanted to talk about one of the scenes in the flashback this episode where Oliver is torturing the guy and says, he failed the city and I'm giving him the justice he deserves. I feel like this is the beginning of the Arrow that came back to Starling City in season 1 that was a bit darker. It was nice to see the beginning of that and how that shift happened in Oliver. Moving on to Damien Dark. So there will be no Damien Dark this season, even though they teased us quite a bit about it. I'm guessing we'll be meeting him next season. I don't think they would bring him up that much if they weren't going to use him in the future. And also I wanted to mention that I was kind of disappointed with his security team. It seemed kind of weak. Didn't Ross say that Damien had his own League of Assassins? So wouldn't you expect his security guys to be like really badass? I mean, unless they weren't that great because he wasn't there to begin with, so didn't really need tight security, but I was a little bit disappointed. And then it was time to save the city. So it turns out it really was the virus that was thrown in the room with the team and not a fake like I thought. But Oliver and Malcolm had a plan to get everyone immune to it before it was released. So that was a nice twist. Didn't see that coming. And as the plane is going to Starling City, Oliver finally tells Roz, my name is Oliver Queen. And at that point I'm thinking, why does Roz want Oliver to be the new Ra's al Ghul so bad? I feel like there might be someone else out there that could do it that would be way more enthusiastic than Oliver. In other news, I didn't really understand why Lance didn't really trust Laurel when she came to tell him about the attack on the city. I mean, I get that he's mad at Oliver, but Oliver has never lied about the city being in danger. But then again, he's drinking again, he's going a dark hole, so he's not really thinking straight. And of course it was Felicity who knew the right thing to say to Oliver to get him to fight to live by saying fight to live. Of course I always enjoy the Felicity Oliver moments. Thea! Yes, she is wearing Roy's outfit, as I kind of thought in last week's review. I'm kind of liking Thea and the outfits and all of that. And it seems like she's now Speedy, as Oliver called her. And I know that sometimes Roy Harper becomes Speedy in the comics, which obviously didn't happen in the show, but I looked into it a little bit and it seems like there's another character called Mia Dearden who also sometimes becomes Speedy in the comic book. So I'm guessing they're probably gonna adapt Thea's Speedy from Mia with a different background and things like that. Or they'll go completely off book and create their own Speedy, which, you know, I'm not against. Roz versus Oliver, round 2! And this time it's Oliver who kills Ra with the sword and claims victory. Here's something I don't understand, is that Roz said that if Oliver wins, then he has to become Ra's al Ghul, and then if he dies, then, you know, Roz wins. But why does Oliver have to become Ra's al Ghul if he kills Roz? Couldn't he just decide not to take the position or just to do whatever he wants with it? And then as we saw, he actually kind of does whatever he wants with it since he hands it off to Malcolm. Speaking of Malcolm, he's in your Oz. And I guess we shouldn't be surprised because it just fits with who he is so perfectly. And I think it's interesting that he has a daughter like Roz who doesn't really like him that much. And even though I don't think Malcolm would be ready to kill Thea right now, who knows how he would feel a few years later. He might just become the new Roz, like really the new Roz. And of course, I think we'll be seeing Malcolm in the League next season, which is actually kind of exciting. Goodbye, Arrow. So Oliver has won for now. And he also acknowledged the power of the team. He acknowledged it so much that he decides to leave the town in their hand and to not be the Arrow anymore. I mean, obviously that's not gonna last, but for now, he's giving up the Arrow for Felicity. First real commitment that he's done to Felicity, so for now, I'm just gonna say yay. I am sad that Diggle and him are still at odds, but at the same time I understand why Diggle wouldn't just forgive him. So I'm glad that they're not just kind of like, okay, I forgive you, Oliver. It's like, well, he did take his wife, so Diggle has to be a little angry at Oliver, at least for a little bit. However, Oliver did tell Diggle that he should probably find his own secret identity. So does that mean that Diggle will have his own costume next season? Oh, kind of excited. For those familiar with the comic book, is there a character that he could possibly become out of the comic books? Ray. That could not be good. Now, I don't think Ray's dead, at least I hope he's not. And I'm wondering if either the suit or the nanotechs actually protected him from the blast. I'm hoping that it's something like that, because that would be very exciting to me. Oliver and Felicity going on their way, away from trouble, away from everything. Looks like they might be going to a beach or something, somewhere hot. The last thing Oliver says is, "I'm happy." And my reaction was, oh, but it's not gonna last. A really sweet ending, but we know they're gonna have to come back next season because, you know, the show is called Arrow, so. Which leads me to my questions for next season. First of all, what is going to bring back Oliver and Felicity into town, into the team, into everything? Are Oliver and Lisa still married? I mean, they didn't really talk about that. Did the wedding go through? Is it just like kind of what I thought is just League of Assassin wedding, but it doesn't really count? I mean, what's the deal? What did Malcolm promise Oliver? Because Oliver told him that they would be good as long as he kept his end of the bargain, and I don't think they really said what it was. It's possibly something in the vein of, don't come near the city, don't attack my friends, stay away from my sister. But it wasn't really clear, I don't think. I wonder what the flashbacks for next season will be. Because we had that scene with Oliver becoming the Dark Arrow version of himself, maybe that's gonna be where he goes back to the island right before he gets rescued in season 1, because that would be interesting to see how that happened. And that said, those are all my thoughts and questions on the season 3 finale of Arrow. Wow. I'm glad that they closed a lot of the storylines from this season so that we can start a whole new chapter next season, and I can't wait to find out who the new villains are, what happened to Ray, you know, all of that. Of course, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the finale. Did you enjoy it? What do you think happened to Ray? What do you think of Thea? What about Oliver and Felicity? Malcolm? Just, you know, let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to subscribe, because even though Arrow is over, we have tons more TV related videos coming up. I also wanted to say a big thank you for watching my Arrow reviews this past few weeks. It's been fun, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye! Fun fact for those of you who don't watch The Flash, however, if you plan on watching it, just stop now because I'm gonna spoil a little bit of the story. The Reverse Flash, who's from the future, has an encounter with Oliver and makes a comment that, according to history books, Oliver Queen lives to 86 years old. So I think it's pretty clear that Oliver is not about to die. Not that we thought he was gonna die, but yeah, he's gonna be fine until he's 86.